right. So I have a great question for the two of you. I was talking with a colleague of mine who owns and runs a sales training organization about our RFX Mastery Program e-workshop. And she said, oh, I hate RFPs. They're all rigged. So what do you think, procurement professionals? Are all RFPs rigged? Audrey, what do you think?
I say absolutely not. I think that that is definitely the exception because, again, as we've talked about throughout the modules, there's so much time and energy put into designing and creating and publishing an RFP and so many other people's investment, the stakeholders. And then, of course, knowing the burden that you're putting on the supply side, I would say absolutely not. And if you think it's rigged, just stay away from it. But I think it's definitely the exception.
Lawrence?
Well, if this was 1950, I might have a different answer. But in today's world, they are rigged to assure fair and equitable opportunity for everybody, right? We're not going to waste a bidder's time and our money to go do something that we have no intention to award or where we've already decided who it is. There's ways of getting price pressure. And so the stalking horse thing rarely happens. Now, one of the things that, the benefit of the RFP is that it helps make sure that we have an apples to apples comparison amongst bidders to meet our statement of work, achieve our service levels and be able to compare, right? Whereas in RFS, it's not apples to apples, but it's a who solves my problem the best, right? So there's different purposes for different types of RFXs. But the goal of them always is for, if I'm the buyer, to give me the best solution to my unmet business need. And I'm not going to go waste a bunch of time and money if I've already made the determination of who that's going to be. There's other ways to do it that cost a lot less and will go a lot faster.
So with that, I just want to say I had the privilege of supporting a procurement team who awarded a very high risk, high value contract to the drumroll non-incumbent. So even when there's a strong incumbent in place and procurement's looking for something else, that there is still that possibility that the non-incumbent can still win. So it's not rigged even when there's a strong incumbent in place.
Yeah, remember, once it goes to RFP, the incumbent loses more often than not.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I think ISG has published some data on that they do if it goes up, because it means typically, it may just have to be a competitive bid, but many times it's going to bid because there's something wrong with the relationship, something that's not whole, something
or technology that the incumbent doesn't have. Yeah,
in my last job, I worked for a very highly regulated corporation in a very mature. I mean, we won all kinds of industry awards around procurement best practices, things like that, right? There were many situations where the incumbent did not win because we leveled the playing field and we had, everybody who bid was somebody we thought would have a chance. There's also many situations where the incumbent didn't have to rebid, even though that's the preference, because of their performance. And so, maybe there's an option year of the contract, or maybe it's a directed buy. But there's formal processes around when do you go to compete and when do you not go to compete, and you have to have all the right facts and data behind it. So, if you're an incumbent and the supplier, you're the incumbent supplier and the buyer is making you recompete, there's something wrong, right? Either the solution needs have changed, right? The technology is different, the business needs have changed, the marketplace has changed. They're not happy with you, even if you're meeting the metrics. So the whole watermelon green thing. Maybe there's new players involved. You've got a new CIO or CTO or whoever the business partner is that says, hey, I want to go and refresh things and start over and see what we can find, right? There's some reason why. And so if you're the incumbent, it's not necessarily yours to lose. It's you got to put the same effort in as everybody else. If you're the non-incumbent, generally speaking,
got a chance.
You got a chance. Yeah, you got a chance.
Okay. All right. So let's wrap it up there. So I paused because the thing came up and said that our meeting was about to end and I didn't want us to lose the recording. So I wanted to end it exactly at
Yeah.
2 hours because that's how we had booked it. So I'm going to stop recording